That enough DACA for you? Wow! Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Fasta. I am Old Big Mac, and this is the third video in the series of building New Year, New Army of my Astra Militarum / Imperial Guard. So, for those of you that haven't followed, 2 weeks ago I did my first video on this, inspired by Tabletop Skirmish Games. Lee over there was doing a really awesome build on, I think it's like 6,000 points of Imperial Guard, which was really awesome. And my local game store was doing a New Year, New Army thing, and I decided that I wanted to join in on all the fun and started working on my Imperial Guard. So, 2 weeks ago when I filmed the first video, I had basically two dudes built, the Commander and the Commissar, and that was it. And just kind of showed what I had in boxes. Last week on the check-in, I had the whole command squad built and half of this squad. And now, as you can see, it is a lot bigger than that. So I have kind of a whole army going here now, and a lot of it in undercoat. So let me go through what I did. So first of all, you still see the command squad. They are still built. They have now been undercoated. This particular paint color is a spray paint. It is a Krylon product called Woodland Camo Green, or Light Woodland Camo Green, something like that. It's a primer that comes in like a camo color that dries ultra flat. Like, that is really nice sheen to it. I find that this particular like tinted primer works really well as an undercoat, especially when using washes and contrast paints in camo colors. So got them all painted up and done. And then the regular squad here, you could see, is completely built. So I've got kind of a assault style sergeant there throwing their grenade. Got a grenade launcher guy, a couple of dudes with the bayonets fixed. Got my Voxcaster dude, and then went ahead with a heavy weapons team with the mortar. And so peppered in there, I've got the upgrade sprue heads from the Cadian upgrade sprue, like the spotter there. He's got an upgrade one. I think this guy does as well with the eye patch. But yeah, just trying to pepper them out through there. So that squad is done. As far as like loadout goes, I am very much rule of cool, especially with this army. Imperial Guard are in a terrible place in the meta. You don't want to play them in anything competitive. I just want them to look really cool and be fun to play on narrative games. And with the rules coming down the pike that your guard, like your troop squads, get all the upgrades for free, it's like I just throw everything at it. Who cares? But yeah, anyways, and then I started working on the second squad here, and you can see this sergeant's got a like some signaling going on and a cigar hanging out of his mouth. I think he might actually be the gunner from the tank kit. Did a plasma gunner, the las cannon team there, and got my Voxcaster guy. So that squad is half built then, so 5-man. I've got 5 more regular Cadians to build, and that squad will be completed. And then obviously there's the Commissar. He is undercoated in black. And again, this is just like Krylon ultra flat black primer. As a since he's not going to be camo. But anyways, and then yes, you can see I have a tank. I have a Lehman Russ. Check that thing out. So this has been undercoated in Tamiya Olive Drab and the Woodland Scenics. They're the light woodland, and like this more of a tan color. So it's actually a 3 different color undercoating with random sprays from spray cans, just to kind of give some variation. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. And man, so the Lehman Russ is cool. I've never had one of these before. All the weapons pop in and out from the factory. You don't have to modify anything in order to be able to do that. So you can see it's got this little like hexagonal shape there, and you could put in the longer Vanquisher cannon or the shorter, stubbier one. The fit's a little tight because they do have paint on them. And then yeah, on the side sponsons here, you could take out, like I've got the plasma cannon in, pop that out, and pop in the multi-melta, and it just goes right in. And so that's really cool. So I did do all of the weapons. I've got them all. So the triple heavy bolters right there, the 2 heavy flamers, the 2 multi-meltas, and the las cannon. I made sure to glue everything in where the sponsons and the whole mount there move, and then obviously the turret moves, and the gun elevates like it's all supposed to. So that was all real cool. I debated on the back here, you can do the exhaust asymmetric and have them both on the left with the ammo can to the right. I debated doing that and ended up going with the symmetric look. I'm not sure why, but I did. And then obviously I painted it with the tracks off. So here are the tracks. They are all undercoated that same ultra flat black. I will dry brush these silver on here and have the whole tank painted before I glue them on. And they'll be glued on right before the last step, which is weathering, when I weather the tank. So yeah, so I've got a Lehman Russ going. So I've got 2 troop squads, heavy support, my HQ there, this HQ, so it's 2 HQs. But I actually made a third. Actually, I don't know if he's HQ or elite. This is my, if I can get it to focus here. Let's try that again. There we go. So they have some special characters. There's Officer of the Fleet and Master of Ordnance. This is a Master of Ordnance custom built. The torso, I'm not sure what it's from. It's been sitting in my spares bin for absolutely ever. I would imagine somewhere around 2nd or 3rd edition, some random Imperial something or other. But yeah, so that's one of the set of arms from the not the apothecary. That's Space Marines. But you know, the Corpseman. So it's one of the Corpseman arm sets. I scraped off the squiggly part to make it just the eagle. And yeah, I have him looking at coordinates, put a regular Voxcaster on his back, regular set of legs, and bada boom, Bob's your uncle. I now have what is he? Officer of Ordnance, Master of Ordnance. There we go, Master of Ordnance. So he can call in deep strike ordnance strikes. I saw that Lee on Tabletop Skirmish Games made his own as well. I had actually made mine before he made that, but it was cool to see that I'm not the only one with those ideas. It's kind of the best thing about the Warhammer hobby, in my opinion, is that you can kit bash things and scratch build your own, which you can see a lot of my stuff is kit bashed here to make them cooler. So that is where we're sitting right now. So I've got to build 5 more of these guys and then undercoat them, and I can start doing the base coating on everybody. I do have 5 more Cadians incoming. So like I said, I have 5 more of these guys still. And then I bought just a 5-man sprue, super duper duper cheap on eBay. I tried to find the easy builds, and man, those things are really expensive for some reason. I don't know why. So just got 5 more regular ones to build 5 more guardsmen. And the reason for that is I have enough spare parts to do a whole nother command squad. And again, I want to do the old style platoon just in case they bring that back. So I'll have like a regimental command and a platoon command. So the platoon command, the officer will be quite as dolled up as that guy. The banner bearer will be a little bit toned down, stuff like that. But yeah, so that'll give me the platoon command and the 2 troop squads and the regimental command. Oh, and I also have a full set of the heavy weapons teams. So in the start collecting box, you just get 1 heavy weapon team, which I obviously split up into 2 teams with some extra bits. Again, following Lee, Tabletop Skirmish Games had a really cool video on getting, I think he got 9 teams out of like 2 boxes or something like that. But yeah, so I got 1 box coming so that I can build, I'm going to try to build 4 or 5 more teams out of that box so that I can scatter them around in amongst the squad. So what I'm actually going to do is they're not all going to be Cadian. So I'm going to have 3 heavy weapons for like the actual heavy support heavy weapons team that will be Cadian. And then the extras that I can build, the 2 extras are going to be for, I'm going to do a whole regiment or a whole platoon of the Kriegers. So I'm going to get a couple more of the Krieg sets and be able to build 2 troop squads of Krieg guys and an HQ for them. So that'll be my 2nd platoon. So yeah, that's the plan there. But as far as Cadian goes, I've got those last 2 pieces incoming. My goal for the next week is to get the rest of the Cadians built and undercoated. So if I can have all of this undercoated and done and ready, this right here, once I finish out this squad, is almost 500 points before like individual upgrades. So that's cool. But yeah, once I get the rest of the heavy weapons squads, I think it's like 550 or something like that. And then depending on what I do with that guy and if the commissar is like the head big guy and what you do with the warlord stuff, you can kind of get up there in points. So yeah, it's nice to know that I'm sitting on like 500-600 points of guard already in just 2 weeks, which is super duper exciting. So yeah, this is where my custom guard chapter has gotten to. So again, they are going to end up being snow camo based. These guys, the Cadian base guys, are going to end up looking like, they're just regular guardsmen that got sent to a world that happened to snow on, and they're kind of a little bit out of their element, so they're going to be mostly camo. And then I'm going to do like a World War II style whitewashing on things. But then everybody else, I'm going to try to do like in greatcoats, and oh man, I would really love to do some Valhallan. I've been looking at them on eBay really hard. They are super expensive for the old school metals. So, and I don't want to do any 3D printing or anything like that, even though I have a 3D printer. I want this to be all Games Workshop so that I can take it to any of the tournaments and be able to use them. Even though, again, they're terrible competitive, you never know if they're going to do a narrative event or something like that. I don't want to be able to use them on that. Plus, I really love the GW aesthetic when it comes to Guard, and I think a lot of the aftermarket 3D printed stuff is a little bit too, I don't know, generic-y. These guys are too generic-y. I'll be honest. I am not a fan of the Cadian stuff at all. I do like the upgrade sculpts. Like, there's some cool stuff in that. But general aesthetics, I'm not too hip on the Cadians. I'm really looking forward to doing the Krieg guys and doing the Gaunt's Ghost and going from there. So I'm trying to muddle through what I don't like so that I can concentrate on the stuff I do like. But yeah, that is where my Imperial Guard army is so far. I'm really, really happy with how much I've gotten done in 2 weeks and just kind of how cool they're looking. So hopefully here within the next week, like I said, I'm gonna get the rest of that squad built, get those guys undercoated. If the heavy weapons team show up, get them built and undercoated. And yeah, maybe even start slinging some paint on the Lehman Russ so I can glue the tracks on it. And yeah, like get 3 colors going on these guys just so at least they're tabletop ready as far as legality goes, and then keep working on the paint scheme from there. I am waiting on a ton of basing materials from Europe for my bases. I'm going a little special on those, so you'll see. Anyways, that's been this week's check-in on Red Ones Go Faster. I am Old Big Mech. I really appreciate everybody that's been watching along with these and motivating. It's been really nice. So, and super big thanks to Lee at Tabletop Skirmish Games for kind of laying this out and encouraging the rest of us in the community to get after it. So yeah, until next time, that's been Red Ones Go Faster.